Live from Valuetainment, it's the Mouthpiece with Ray Matthews.
Yes, indeedy, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. It is Mouthpiece time. I'm your host, Brady Matthews. Happy free agency day? Happy what? What are we celebrating today? Anything?
I'm gonna eat a lot of pizza later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Happy Pizza Day. I don't even know if it's Pizza Day. We're starting off with nonsense, and that's what we do here at the Mouthpiece. Lots to get to, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of free agency. It's getting steamy and hot out there, and we want to talk about it with our boy Chris Manno. Also, we want to discuss some NBA new class of superstars because we're sick and tired of LeBron. We've seen it. James Harden, thanks so much. C-Stage left. As well as some breaking news via MMA from our guy, Ray Sherwood.
Yeah.
But with that said, let me introduce my all-star panel of these wacky guys. To the left of me, he's our all-pro here at Valuetainment, the one, the only, Chris Manno.
Let's go. Big show today. Free agency, let's talk football, let's do it.
Yeah, 100%, we sure will. And next to him, he has the best chest hair this side of the 95. He's dressed like he's caddy. He's going to be a caddy later today. The one, the only, Ray Sherwood, everyone. He's our number one caddy here at Valuetainment.
Don't worry.
I like it. I like that shirt, Ray.
Thank you. It's nice.
Speaking of nice shirts, he's the guy behind the computer. He keeps the show on the right track. The one, the only, Malik Hudson, everybody.
Let's go, Malik.
Malik, I do love that shirt.
You gotta show off the shirt.
WrestleMania 6.
From Walmart.
Are those your favorite wrestlers, or I mean, were you even old enough to watch them in the ring? Or
I wasn't old enough to watch them, but I mean, I do love Randy Macho Man Savage, of course.
Can you do an impression of him real quick?
sure, yeah, let's hear an impression.
let's hear an impression.
I mean, ooh, yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
And there's a shirt clip for you, my friend.
I love him in the first Spider-Man when he played Bonesaw. That's my favorite Macho
He's just
Man
throwing
cameo.
Spider-Man all around the cage. You're like,
Yeah.
how is this dude not dead?
Basically played himself.
Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah,
Bonesaw was Randy Savage.
beating up just little ass Tobey Maguire, dude.
He's like
Ray, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Oh man, I'd have to say The Undertaker.
Sure.
Yeah,
Because
that
he was just so full of high energy.
Yeah, I know that was. Yeah, when he came out and just the light. As soon as that gong hit, boom.
Yeah, put me right to sleep.
Yeah.
Jeez, his hair.
Honestly, it took him 10 minutes to
Every
walk to
time
the
I
ring.
saw The Undertaker, I was always like, this dude needs a shower, bro.
Yeah, he's a greasy bastard.
Manno?
Best entrance ever. My favorite wrestler of all time was Mr. Perfect, though. Kurt Hennig.
For sure. When he threw the football to himself?
He did everything. And he was just simply perfect.
Is that what you imagine you would do?
I didn't know. I wouldn't think of football at that
He
point.
had the best hair.
I loved him and Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, I know.
The
man.
excellence of execution.
Dude, those guys were the best. That's when wrestling was great. It's great. The
amazing.
thing about wrestling now is I still know guys in their 40s, my age, that still watch it and they still talk about it.
30s.
Okay. I mean, listen. Who's a guy that you like right now? Because I don't even know, probably one guy.
Oh, no, I know all of them. Who do I really like?
Yeah,
I
who
think
do you like?
New Roman Reigns has been awesome.
Yeah, okay. That's what I
And
was going to
his
say.
character is sick, and they got him in there with The Rock now, which
Yeah.
is going to eventually turn to a story where him and The Rock get after it because they're like cousins in real life. That's going to be sick.
Wait, what?
Not Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you pulling a Ray Sherwood on me and saying they're really
Bob
cousins
Sapp?
in real
No,
life?
they're really cousins. They're part of the Anawai
Is this a Bob
family
Sapp
dynasty.
thing?
Are you
No,
saying
this is
'cause
actually
they're
real?
Samoan?
Okay.
No, they're actually from the same bloodline.
Because they're Samoan, or
No, they're actually cousins. I promise
racist.
you.
Yeah,
No,
that's
check it. They do this whole faction called the
because they have the
Bloodline.
same tribal tattoo.
That's true, dude. Maybe that's what it is.
Could
No,
be
being
the tribal
serious.
tattoo.
All right,
Look
let me
into
ask you a question. Do you guys like the Rock being back, or is it like, have we seen this before?
Look, there was a time The Rock was like my favorite celebrity, and then he went full woke and endorsed Sleepy President, and I've been off the Rock bandwagon since.
Right, I'm not a big
Sorry
fan of
about
the Rock.
We need some Stone Cold. We need that glass break-in, that entrance to come in, and just a nice little star.
Oh yeah,
that's what I. That's
Stone
what we all
Cold
need.
entrance was the best. Oh, we got the Dwayne Johnson
Yeah,
family tree.
they're
Good
actually
call,
family.
Malik.
Yeah.
Malik, you're an
Wait,
animal.
Malik, how the hell did you find this?
Well, I already knew this, so
Thank you, Malik.
The Rock is actually Jimmy Superfly Snuka, if you remember him. That's
Yeah.
The
Oh.
Rock's uncle.
No
Rocky
way.
Johnson is his father.
Dude, it's a
Yeah,
family
yeah.
lineage,
Yeah.
man. They're
Yeah,
all
there's
in
a
there.
whole family
Rikishi
tree
was in there
of these,
somewhere from
wrestlers, actually.
Yeah,
So this is like the
Great physical specimen.
who was the movie that what's his face in the Van Dykes or what were the wrestling
The Von Erichs.
Von Erichs, the Van
Yeah, no,
Dykes.
this is bigger. This is like a bunch of
It's Dick
generations.
Van Dyke and his family, they're all wrestlers. My bad.
All those dykes are related, right?
yeah.
This is a bunch of generations, and these guys are all like at the top of the card too. Like Roman Reigns right now has been the guy for like 3 years. He got the belt for like 1,200 days now,
Yeah.
and he's actually awesome. For a long time, they try to like shove him down everybody's throat. Then he kind of like changed his gimmick up a little bit. Now he's such a badass.
I think the thing that I love
He's going to be on with PBD soon, too, so check that out.
Is he really?
Yes.
That's awesome. Shout out to PBD and Roman Reigns. That's going to be cool and something to look forward to. I liked Macho Man back in the day. Him and Miss Vanessa, or what was her name?
Miss
Melissa.
Elizabeth.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth.
That was his wife.
0 for 3. That was his wife. Was
No,
that
it was
really
his wife.
Allegedly.
That was his
Allegedly.
wife.
Allegedly. Don't pull Bob Sapp on me.
Hey, I'm yet to be wrong on those, man.
That was
I'm
Bob
2 for
Sapp
2.
was dating her too, I think. So.
That was the
That's
best.
Logan Paul's girlfriend, I think.
Look at us. Who knew we were going to talk wrestling
24
right out
is.
the gate?
You'll see.
Who knew we were going to talk wrestling right out the gate? Speaking out the gate, Manno.
Yes.
Lots of free agency moves, right?
Definitely.
Lots. Things we're excited about, things we're not so excited about, correct?
Right, for sure.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Our top free agency moves. I'm going to let you lead this, bad boy. We have winners and losers.
Well, let's talk first about like some of the top movers. Like
Okay,
we talked about
sure.
some of the guys that we were excited to see move. I don't think there was too many huge ones. Couple of really good ones. As you know, if you've been watching the show the last month, I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy.
I have been watching
think
the show.
Kirk Cousins changes the complete dynamic of the Falcons. I'm excited to see him move. He got 4 years, 180 million, 50 guaranteed. So Kirk Cousins, off an injury, continues to kind of rake it in.
I've never seen a guy 35 years old, 34, 35 years old, still get the cash that he gets.
It's the position and it's the way the game is been shifted now. Like these quarterbacks aren't allowed to get hit no more. So you expect that a 35-year-old guy should last until he's 39.
But don't you feel like you're kind of getting a Matt Ryan all over again in a way? You know what I mean? Like he's not the most mobile guy, but he's efficient in terms of passing.
But that's not his game. He doesn't have to be mobile. He's going to get the ball out quick. And if you look, we're going to talk about some of the teams that we think really won and lost going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And the stable of weapons that he has is nuts. And we'll talk about that for sure. Obviously, Saquon Barkley moved. We didn't get a chance to talk about this the last time, but Saquon Barkley moving from NFC East New York Giants to their arch rival NFC East Philadelphia Eagles. This is a huge thing up in New York. And Saquon is like a beloved figure there.
Right, we talked about this in the last show. Does it affect? Do you go and take your jersey, Giants jersey,
for
and
sure.
you burn it, or do you throw it in the trash? Which one are you doing, Ray?
They're burning.
They're burning it.
They're burning in New
Dude,
York. For
they
sure.
hate him now.
They're dumpster
and it's
firing him.
crazy.
I would hate him too,
but
dude.
And he's completely like, which is crazy because the first couple years of his career, he was like, so like he's. I'm not saying he's there yet, but he's going a little KD on him. Like he's buying into it. So he's putting videos up of him in his Giants uniform.
I saw that on
shifting
Twitter.
into his Eagles uniform now. He put like a really non-discreet goodbye. Like Kirk Cousins put up this really nice, classy video. Like thank you to the city, thank you to the people who helped me in the building. And Saquon in like 30 seconds on like a tweet was like, "Yeah, it's been fun, peace."
Now,
like,
what do you think that is? Do you think it's because of how he was treated on his way out? Do you think, or is it because he really has animosity towards the Giants?
I don't know, man. I know for the better part of the last 3 years, though, or 2 years, when this contract thing was becoming a thing, he would say over and over and over again, I have every intention and I really want to finish my career a Giant. I have every intention. I really want to finish my career a Giant. And I don't know if he felt disrespected at the end, but you can't feel disrespected in a business, man. It's a position that he plays right now that's not valued incredibly high. And when you got teams where teams are winning dynasty championships and they got a 7th-round pick out of Rutgers toting the football, you can't be mad when you're not going to get paid because there's other guys who could do it.
And how else are you expect him to leave the Giants and go to the rivals? You know, he's got to throw up the deuces. He can't say it nice, being like, hey, thank you so much. He's playing the heel for it. And he's just going to deuces out.
But also, what does that say about the rivalry in terms of the Giants just letting him go to the Eagles?
It adds to the rivalry
Malik, what do you
even
think?
more.
Don't you think that's kind of messed up? Wouldn't you be pissed off if your team gave your best player to the team that you hate the most? That's like the Packers getting, well, no one from the Bears, but someone.
Well, they didn't trade him. You know,
that's a bad comparison.
They didn't trade him there.
My bad.
They didn't trade him there. He was a free agent
I know.
that
I'm
was
saying,
free to sign anywhere.
but I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. No, they didn't trade him there, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, in any situation, though, you don't want your star. You don't want a player, let alone your star player, going to the rival team in the same division. Yeah. Like you could have them go. You send that guy. Like if it's an NFC team, you send that guy to the AFC.
Totally.
So that way you don't got to see him and it bites you in the butt in the playoffs or something like.
Right, but they didn't send. What I'm saying is they didn't send him anywhere. Like he was free to go anywhere.
Sure.
So the problem is they drafted him at the number 2 overall pick, which you don't see a running back get drafted at anymore because where he slots salary-wise doesn't fit with the rest of the cap and the trajectory of the position.
Got it.
So now it's almost like you got to take a pay cut because it's your second it's going to be your big contract, but you're not going to get paid what a number 2 overall pick gets.
But as the competitive guy that I am, if I heard that he was going to go to the Eagles, I would have tried to figure out how I could retain him.
But think about the businessman that's sitting up in the office who sees a number and says, I lose out on, I got to pay my new quarterback that I'm probably going to draft in 4 weeks eventually. He's going to get 55 guaranteed right out of the gate. Do I want to spend the cap on a running back who's 28, kind of injury prone, and, And look, I'm a Saquon guy. I like him a lot. I thought his time in New York was good.
I've been a
very likable player.
I've been a fan of him since Penn State.
For sure.
And also, I think I went through a lot of injuries too, so that's
what
tough
I'm
as
saying.
well. But I've always been a huge fan of him. I hope he has just wild success with the Eagles.
There's
it's
a
definitely
video.
going to be interesting to watch with him and Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Another thing that they were talking about, and I want to get your guys' take on it, but I mean to cut you off, Ray. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to say they just released a video of Saquon just squatting 750, something stupid like that.
Yeah,
that's been his thing forever.
The guy's a
He's a
beast.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and we're going to touch on this later with the Bears and stuff. But what would be your take if the Bears traded Justin Fields to the Eagles? Because Jalen Hurts kind of had a history last season. Well, not really a history, but I mean, everyone gets hurt in the league. Everyone gets hurt. And the way that Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields play is very similar. Manno, don't you think that would kind of make sense in terms of where are you going to place him? Because right now, from what I've seen, what Justin Fields is going forward is kind of like a Caleb, not a Caleb Haney, but he's like who's the guy for the Redskins that played this last year? The white guy.
Taylor Heineke?
He's like a Taylor Heineke in a way. He kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Taylor Heineke.
That's Justin Fields you're saying?
Yes, he's kind of in the realm of that. But I'm saying, wouldn't he make sense to go be a backup for Jalen Hurts or guys that are mobile just like him?
Well, here's what I think. Well, yeah, it's always nice to have a quarterback who kind of fits the same system, so it's an easy plug-in. We watched the Ravens do that a bunch the last couple of years. They had Huntley behind Lamar Jackson, so anytime Lamar Jackson had to come out, Huntley's a similar type of quarterback. But with the Justin Fields thing now, it's going to be about what the Bears think they can get for him. I've been hearing that teams are only offering second-round picks and lower. A lot of teams don't deem him a starter, which is kind of crazy because he's been their starter and he was drafted so high.
Right.
But the Bears aren't going to move him unless they think they can get good value back for him, I don't suppose. But as you get closer to the draft, you tend to get a little desperate, and it's going to be about what they want to do with that number 1 pick. Honestly.
Well, I want your take on that once we get that far.
Sure.
There's also
just the last two I think we're kind of worth touching on is Calvin Ridley goes from Jacksonville, 4 years, $92 million to his new team, Tennessee. Right? He's going to play with Will Levis. I heard he was offered more money by other teams. He decided to go over there. And then last but not least, Josh Jacobs. He's one of the top running backs in the league. He gets paid 4 years, $48 million with Green Bay.
See, I think that's a bad move.
Yeah, tell me why.
I do think it's a bad move because I think Aaron Jones was way more efficient than Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, I just think, I don't know. I really liked Aaron Jones. I thought the kid ran with he was just a beast every time he ran. I don't see why would you get rid of one guy when the other guy is not as good as Aaron Jones. That's what I think.
I think Josh Jacobs has been one of the top backs in the league for a while now. He's pretty durable. I don't know. I think the Vikings had a lot of turnover. We'll talk about that after, too. They're in an interesting spot. I guess a couple of others that note being mentioned. Gardner Minshew moved to the Ravens. To the Raiders. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Joe Mixon moves to the Texans. Gabe Davis to Jacksonville. Christian Wilkins to the Raiders. And Patrick Queen, stud linebacker for the Ravens, is out. Ravens lost a lot of guys this week.
They also gained one with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they did. And which
is
is
a monster.
Well, I wrote on Twitter earlier in the week, has there ever been a more Ravens running back than Derrick Henry?
Totally.
Just a bruiser, a big, nasty back. He's going to work perfect in that back.
And the comeback player of the year.
That's what I was just about to say.
Going to the Colts, baby. Joe Flacco.
On a 1-year deal. Joey Flacco will be in OTAs and ready to rock and roll for your Indianapolis Colts.
Sorry, Malik.
No, I'm not mad at all. I mean, we got Jameis Winston. I guess.
Yeah, dude. Sorry about that, brother. That's a real loss.
Yeah, it's a real loss.
Joey Flacco just plugging them holes is what he's doing.
They signed Jameis Winston though. They signed him for a crazy amount. He got like $8 million coming off the bench.
Just biting them dubs, dude.
Yeah,
dude, he always plays too. Everywhere he goes, the quarterback in front of him gets hurt somehow.
Can you play the Jameis Winston's famous dub?
There's a couple, man.
Pretty please.
There was another video of him at church, preaching to everyone.
I know. The problem with this guy is he can't get his foot out of his mouth half the time.
No, honestly, he's funny.
Because guess what? Jameis Winston, every time I see him, he means well. But the guy ends up... Watch this.
We start biting his hands. That's a dub.
Man, does this pump you up or what?
Look at his teammates. They're like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
I don't know. That doesn't.
The
that
other
doesn't
guy
do
had to
anything
come
for
in
me.
and was like, all
Yeah,
right,
the other
that's
guy was
enough.
like, yo, I got you. No. Stop,
You gotta
stop.
stop.
Yeah, man. Have you ever had anybody do that to you, where you're in the huddle and they just said the wrong thing, and you're like, let's just go play football?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. There's like guys who try to jump into the front of the huddle and be the guys who get the team revved up, and you're like,
Right.
But you haven't played it down all year. What are we doing here?
Totally. Yeah, they're like
It
open
happens
mic.
for
They're like
sure.
open micers trying to headline.
But there's some people though who we just love, who are around the team always and don't get a ton of shine, but they're good locker room guys and you respect them and you love them, veterans. But nah, that probably wouldn't have gotten me too hyped.
No, not at all. Moving on, okay, to our free agency.
Winners and losers, right?
I want to, for sure, free agency winners and losers. I'm really excited about this because I see who your winners and losers are, and I'm curious why. Break it down for me. Who do you have your first winner, and what's your angle?
Well, my big winner is, again, the Atlanta Falcons. I think they did awesome.
Yeah.
I think they added a ton of weapons. As you know, I think Kirk moves the football. That's all I care about. In this new NFL, being able to pass the football is essential. Kirk Cousins moves over there. He comes over with, I'm sorry to do it to you, brother, Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney comes over.
He's all right.
He's underrated, man. He's a very underrated wideout.
He's your third wide receiver.
He's a very underrated wide receiver, but he just happened to be in a system where they can't throw the football the last couple of years.
He's a slot receiver.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right.
He's going to come in. He's probably going to catch 800 yards worth of footballs. He'll hold down that Adam Thielen type role
Right.
or that KJ Osborne type role that the Vikings had when Kirk was over there.
Right.
Now, what a lot of people don't realize either is it's not that they added a player, but he's going to go. They're going to join Bijan Robinson,
Who's
obviously.
a beast from Texas.
So
Yep.
think about how this offense is coming together now. You have Kirk.
Yep.
You have Darnell Mooney. You have Bijan Robinson. You have Drake London down there, stud.
Right.
And now what a lot of people are not realizing is Kyle Pitts, stud athlete tight end, had a monster rookie year, 68
They were
catches.
talking during the draft that he might have gone number one.
So check this out. Right, exactly. He wound up going 4, the highest a tight end has been taken, right?
Yep.
So now he's had 1,028 yards on 68 receptions as a rookie. This was with Matt Ryan. And then the last 2 years, he's been kind of hindered with Desmond Ridder, who hasn't been, and then Mariota, who haven't been awesome quarterbacks. So now think about it. The last time he had an established veteran passer, he wound up going off. So expect a big season from him coming back. I think he's going to have a big year.
Also, I was going to say there was a press conference for Kirk Cousins, and he was telling Kyle Pitts about his jersey, being like, hey, how much do you want for number 8 and everything? He goes, I don't want anything. Just give me the ball.
Just throw me the football.
Just throw me the football.
I love that because although I know a lot of players are superstitious when it comes to their numbers, man, is that a big deal for you guys going into a new season and a new team to stick to your number, or are you okay with changing your number?
Well, a guy like me, let's be real, I wasn't awesome in the league, so I wasn't really super attached
You're
to a
awesome to
number.
us, though.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy like Ocho Cinco, whose brand is being 85,
Yeah.
or you're a guy like Steve Smith Sr., who is
Brady.
89, Agent 89, Tom Brady is 12, right? These guys kind of get attached to these. Cam Newton as number 1 is all I can imagine. You know what I
Right.
mean? So these guys get attached, and it's important to them, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then I guess I have my second kind of winner. I think you got to give the Eagles some love. They had a big, because again, we touched on Saquon, and then they got a really, really good, underrated pass rusher from the New York Jets in Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff gets $51 million. He's a guy that was undrafted, and the Jets kind of groomed him. Fastest get off in the league statistically, and he's had a monster year in that Jets defense. The last 2 seasons, Jets just couldn't find a way to pay him with the backload of
course.
defensive edge players. They
Yeah,
have.
I mean they're stacked too. The Jets are pretty
On
stacked
defense, yeah, they're loaded.
for sure.
Yeah.
What else you got? Is that all you have for us right there?
For my winners, those are going to be my winners. Yeah, who's your winners?
Okay, let's see. So my winners, who I have, the Texans. You can't sleep on the Texans.
No, they had a
Texans,
good
I
deal.
think, probably has had the best offseason, I think, out of any team by far. They acquired Joe Mixon, who's a stud from Cincy, right? Donnell Hunter, Azeez Al-Shaair, Jeff Okudah, and then they retained Dalton Schultz. By the way, Dalton Schultz, you can't sleep on that guy. That guy is incredible. He's a utility tool for your team. And I think the Texans definitely got a home run with all those guys, especially Donnell Hunter. I wanted him so bad to go to the Bears. I really did. But again, Bears are doing the Bears. It is what it is. It's fine. We'll get there.
Are they your losers?
Yeah. We'll give it away. And then also, You said the Vikings were your losers, right?
Well, I didn't say that on this stage yet, but I'm about to, and they are.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Go ahead, talk
We'll
to
get
me.
there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
That's my fault.
please. Tell me why they're not your losers.
Okay, so they're not my losers because I
Okay.
think the Vikings, what they're going to do. Here's what I think they're going to do.
Let me hear
All
it.
right, they added a pair of impressive edge rushers with the splash signing of Jonathan Grenard, right? I like that guy a lot.
Right.
And then also I like Andrew Van Ginkel, which is a great name.
That's great.
It's a great name.
Like Van Dyke.
yeah, like Van
right.
Dyke.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dick Van Dyke,
Dick Van
the
Dyke.
wrestler.
What do you think of their new quarterback?
Listen, I'm getting there. We're
Tell
getting
me
there.
about it.
So I like Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold a lot.
Oh, here
Yeah,
we
I
go.
still think there's a lot of upside with Sam Darnold. I do.
Backpedal for me,
I think he's
Dion.
one of the better quarterbacks that have come out of USC for sure. I just think he's gotten the raw end of the deal. Okay, that's what I think. I think he's going
But
to go
what
to
if
Minnesota.
I tell you, like, the best quarterback coming out of the UFC, out of USC, is like the tallest midget? Like, they don't pump out good quarterbacks.
Did you say tallest midget?
I mean, like, it's the same thing to me. Like, it's
like
not-
a young baby,
that-
you know?
What's the best quarterback?
Hold on,
out
I'm
of
still, I'm,
Mark
still, I'm still
Sanchez.
chewing on tallest midget.
Mark Sanchez.
Because I've never heard that in my life.
But that's what it's the equivalent to me. Like, who cares? The best quarterback at a USC, they're not like a quarterback factory.
I'm making you that shirt.
Well, I don't
Tallest
know if I can
midget.
wear it outside
Tallest
of here.
midget.
And then on the back, youngest baby.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I don't mean to cut you off or make fun, but that's very funny.
That's fine.
But what I'm saying is what I think they're going to do, and the reason why they have Sam Darnold, right?
Okay.
They're going to push the ball around, and I think he's good with pushing the ball around and finding open slot receivers. Like he's finding the open man. He's good at divvying the ball out. What I think they're doing, though, what I think they're going to do is they're going to go and draft J.J. McCarthy with their first pick.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. So, but what I also think they're going to do is I think they're going to get rid of Justin Jefferson. They're going to trade him to the Bengals for 2 later draft picks. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, so I definitely differ
I think
with
Justin
you on
Jefferson's
this.
totally gone. I think he's completely gone. I think he goes to the Bengals and he plays with Jamar Chase and he goes and plays with Joe Burrow. Get that LSU championship team back and win a Super Bowl. Also, I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan. We'd
That'd
love
be
to have you on the
badass.
show.
And if this
That'd
is
be
Madden
badass.
Ultimate Team, that definitely works. But we
Why
talked
can't
about
that?
well, bro, Justin Jefferson's in line for the biggest wide receiver deal in history.
Right.
Now you bring him to the Bengals, and you think they're going to give him more than they're going to give their homegrown star stud receiver and Jamar Chase, who's also up for a deal. You're going to be tied up with $85 million in the cap and
But
2
they're
wide
talking about
receivers.
how they would take some pay cuts and then they make it work.
You better find me guys who are going to take $30 million pay cuts then, because there's only so much. That's the thing about football. There's only so much money to go around.
Right.
Now, I actually think completely different. I think any time, yes, they made some additions. Grenard was a great addition. I'll be real. I actually think Sam Darnold could be decent, and I think in O'Connell's
There you
offense,
go.
he's
Yeah.
going to be
Positive
fine.
thinking. I
Coming
like that.
around.
I think Van Ginkel's a good player.
Yep.
But anytime you lose Kirk Cousins and Danielle Hunter, it's a bad day, right? And like you said, the loss of Kirk Cousins now pushed off that extension of Justin Jefferson further. They don't even seem like they're close anymore, where he's made it like outwardly known that he
That
would
he's
like
gone.
to have Kirk back.
Yeah.
And when he didn't, look, these players got a ton of stroke these days. So if he's not happy, he's going to be out of there. So you, in theory, in one free agency period, 2 days, lost yourself your starting quarterback,
And
you lost your best edge rusher,
Right.
and now you might lose your all-world young receiver. So that's not a winning formula to me.
Okay.
And then, obviously, my other losers, you can't have a losers discussion without talking Jets, right? So the Jets lose Bryce Huff, and now they may lose their Hall of Fame quarterback to RFK. So it was a bad day for the Jets, too. So we're going to see how this turns out.
Now explain to the people at home, what do you mean by that? Expand on that, because maybe people at home haven't heard that what's that all
So look,
about?
obviously a rumor till this point. I don't know. We know Aaron Rodgers has been sort of outwardly spoken about certain things. Some people don't like him for it. That's
Sure.
cool. To me, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But he's been rumored to be the leader in the clubhouse as RFK's VP candidate, right? There's like a rumor going around that apparently RFK is going to name him his running mate.
Yeah, got a couple other people. He's got Jesse the Body.
Yes, he
As
has.
his- but I don't think it's a
Tulsi
good pick.
Gabbard's on the list.
Tulsi Gabbard's on
Andrew
there.
Yang's on the list.
Right, which I'm
but
not a
he
fan
has
of. I
spoken
can't stand that guy.
glowingly of Aaron Rodgers on multiple occasions because he thinks he appeals to like this new generation, which is a little harder for some of these people. They think and I've heard from people in the know that like him or not, what he says, he's very knowledgeable. He's articulate.
Listen, I'm a
So-
fan of Aaron Rodgers here. The only person that's ever stepped into a presidential camp like this is Jack Kemp, I think back in the 70s. So it's definitely interesting seeing football players wanting to get into the political space.
The only bright spot I hold if I'm a Jets fan is I think he probably realizes, and look, I could be wrong, anything could happen, but I don't think RFK has much of a chance to win the whole thing. So
No.
I think for that reason, he's probably going to say, if I had a chance to be the vice president, maybe I give this a real look. I think for the reasons that we just said, I don't think he sacrifices 6 months of prep coming off an injury and gives away $30-something million at the end of his career when he knows his earning window is getting smaller.
Yeah.
I think the Jets fans should be okay, but get him in a room, guys. Let's talk. And let's figure this
but
out.
here's the thing: is I'd rather see Aaron Rodgers on the field than on the stage. That's just my opinion.
Well, for
because
2 more years,
yeah,
right?
because I think he's got a lot of juice left, and I think the Jets are just maybe a couple guys away from really making some moves. Ray, you like this move by Aaron Rodgers, or do you think it's just him just stroking his ego as usual?
Yeah, I mean, he's just dabbing in the waters of politics right now. I wouldn't consider it nothing crazy in terms of where his mental capacity lies. It's football for sure, but he's dabbing in maybe for something in the later couple years once he retires.
Run
he's
for Congress.
Probably gonna run in. Yeah,
do something fun like that
for sure.
And to be fair, we haven't heard anything from Aaron Rodgers yet. It's just been a rumor. Aaron Rodgers hasn't said
I'm sure Jimmy Kimmel has an opinion on it.
Oh, he's waiting for the downfall.
Maybe he can get into blackface when he does it. That would be awesome.
Man, we're getting canceled for sure.
Or tear his other ACL.
He's a miserable human.
Okay,
There's
so
Achilles.
you want my losers? Do you want my losers?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so here's my losers. As always, we're talking about my favorite team in the whole entire world, the Bears.
The Bears.
Can we pull up my my thing, Malik, of the Chicago Bears? So the Bears, they haven't really done, I think, a whole lot that I'm excited about. Also, you told me the other day, Manno, that they sent out their whole camp to go check out Bo Nix.
I said they
Can you elaborate for me on that?
Yeah, Bo Nix,
Just
obviously
put me down gently, though.
Oregon quarterback who's been in college since the Eisenhower era, I think.
He's RFK's second running mate.
He's just finished his last, I think, 7th and final year, Van Wilder type college experience.
Yeah.
But he had
Dick
his
Van
pro
Dyke,
day
shout out
this
to
week,
Dick.
and apparently Chicago sent a litany of people out there from the OC to the head coach.
embarrassing.
But what this tells me is, and let me tell you this, we started to get into this before the show, is you can't possibly draft Bo Nix 1 overall and live to tell about it. So what this tells me is possibly they trade back. And then what I think for you might be cool is they trade back to maybe that 7, 8, 6, 9, somewhere in that area. Maybe you can steal a Brock Bowers or steal a Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze somewhere on the board, get your quarterback.
If they got Brock Bowers, that'd be huge. But the thing is I don't think they'll do that. What I do, and sadly, where my heart tells me, because this is the Chicago Bears, I think they trade that first pick.
Okay.
They go get a bunch of dudes.
How far back are they going? Because they got to get a quarterback if they don't believe in Fields.
I think they just might go 1 or 2 back.
Go to the 3 or 4 pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go try and get like Marvin Harrison, or they're going to try maybe go get Neighbors, or they're going to go get who's the other guy? Not Neighbors, but who's the other guy that's drafted higher than Neighbors?
Roma Dunze.
Yeah, Roma Dunze.
Do you think that they feel like they have their quarterback?
I think they're going to keep Justin Fields.
You do?
I do.
Stephen A. Smith actually said, he goes, he actually believes, and you got to look at it on that perspective too. Is he does have a lot of attributes to be a good quarterback, to possibly great, as long as he has certain tools on the offense.
So what scares me? There is actual footage of Justin Fields, and he's down the field. The field is wide open, like parting the Red Sea.
And there's a
guy
man in the
literally.
yeah.
You've seen it. There's a guy literally in the middle.
Yes, sir.
And even I'm watching. I go, throw the ball, throw the ball. What is right there? What are you doing? And listen, if you have to do that so many times when you see your quarterback play, it's time to go. But they're not going to do it because it's the Chicago Bears. They're going to trade the first pick. They're going to get a haul of other players. They're going to go get a Dunze, or they're just going to sit on because they're going to get a lot of money regardless. They have a ton of cap space to go get guys.
Well, the beautiful thing is if you in this year of all years, it's so quarterback heavy at the top of that first round. If a team that's looking for a quarterback and thinks they have the franchise guy up at the top, you're willing to move back from there, you're going to get a haul.
Well, let me ask you. So, why would it be such a bad thing if the Bears drafted Caleb Williams and kept Justin Fields?
Oh, there's so much money tied up in
that.
But
why not? Why wouldn't you do that? And then you have tons of cap space to go get guys. You still have a number 9 draft pick. Why not do that? Let them figure it out. Let them fight for the starting quarterback position.
Well, it's going to come up eventually where they have to decide whether they're going to pick up Fields' 5th year or not, and
Correct.
that's going to be
$25 million.
So it's going to be like you're going to keep a guy on the bench and pay him money like that. That was kind of the Jets' conundrum with Zach Wilson. Now, I think there's people in the building who believe Zach Wilson physically could probably play and let him sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. But the only way you do that is if you pick up his 5th, and he's going to get paid a fortune. So you can't sit that much money on the bench with no possibility of playing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so my next losers is the Dallas Cowboys.
As they should be.
What the F are you guys doing?
They're sleeping.
What are they doing?
Are they really losers if they're just
What are they?
doing
But
nothing?
yeah, 100%.
They're just
sleeping.
like on a treadmill. They're
What
not
do
doing
they do?
anything.
But listen,
They're sleeping
okay,
right
here's
now.
my thing: is the Patriots are now moving on from Bill Belichick. Okay, when do we move on from Jerry's world? Because Jerry Jones, obviously, is he in charge of the team as much as he used to be? Because listen, the 90s called and they had a great time, but it's time to go, Jerry. It's time to find other avenues, like open up a strip club or something, or do what you love. Like I don't understand why Jerry has to still sit around and call these calls. He reminds me of you ever seen the movie The Exorcist, where he's like, "Go to the light, Carol Ann." That's where he's at right now. You know what I mean? He's 2 steps away from being Joe Biden. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's dead
Well, my
asleep.
thoughts are you can't. It's not really comparable Bill Belichick versus Jerry Jones because Bill Belichick could be replaced by a
What
superior.
I'm saying is turn the corner, turn the page on these guys.
It's
Because
hard.
listen, the old kind of ways of thinking is done. You need young studs in there with fresh thinking. Also, Dak Prescott is on his last year of his contract. It's time to move on. It's
So then
time to-
maybe we say it's time for Jerry Jones to relinquish a little of his power and hire a guy that he trusts to make football
That's
decisions.
exactly what I'm saying.
He has had a propensity to not do that and kind of stick his nose in and kind of hinder the Cowboys for a long time. I know his son a couple of times has wanted to draft differently than him, Stephen Jones, and he's been overruled by his pop. And yeah, I guess until he goes ahead and relinquishes a little of that power, these old egotistical rich guys, they're like, this is my show, it's going to be my show until I go, and then Stephen Jones will have his time.
I was going to say too. There was a lot of speculations after Tony Pollard left that Saquon was going to go to Dallas, and they
Heard
felt
that.
like
Yeah,
they dropped,
I thought that
they
would've been-
dropped the
that.
ball on that.
that would have been a great move. But
yeah.
also, I don't know.
They lost Michael Gallup too.
Yeah.
I just don't get where are you going to plug these holes now, because now you have more questions than you do answers. CeeDee Lamb can only do so much, but then they're just going to double up on CeeDee, and then Dak Prescott's going to do what he does, and then come the playoffs, he's going to shit the bed again.
Yeah,
That's what
CeeDee's
Dak
up for,
does. What?
CeeDee Lamb's up for a contract extension as well. Like
great.
He's
He's
in
gone
that
too.
time of year. And,
Two-time All-Pro, you're going to pay him anything he wants for sure.
Oh, I would give CeeDee Lamb the house.
Yeah,
CeeDee
he
Lamb's a
deserves
stud.
it all. And on top of that, you don't think that them signing Eric Kendricks was a big move for them?
I mean, sure. Yeah, but I guess, Manno, what do you think? You think it's a big move?
Solid move. I do.
It's a good hole to plug.
I think their
for sure.
defense is pretty good, man. I think you center everything around Micah Parsons, who's going to be there for a long time. When he comes up, you'll get him under contract ASAP.
Yeah.
And go from there. I don't think that's where the Cowboys' trouble really lies. It's that they got to figure out a way to kind of move the ball in the important times of the year, which they haven't been able to do at times.
Also notable two players that got released was Mike Williams and Khalil Mack from the Chargers.
Well, Khalil Mack restructured his contract, so he's going to stay.
Oh, he's going to stay.
Yeah, he's going to
okay, 'cause
stay.
I
It
thought
was
they said he
it was
in.
rumored because they have so little cap space. It was going to be Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa,
Right.
and Khalil Mack. Someone had to be the odd man out. Keenan Allen is the staple in San Diego. He leads them in every receiving category in history.
Right.
He's going to come back.
Mike Williams is a stud, though.
Mike Williams is a stud, but you
So-
can only fit so many studs on the team. That's what I was talking to you about with the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
They can't make Keenan Allen and Mike Williams work with the cap. How do you think they make Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase work with the cap?
I think Mike Williams still has a lot in the tank, and I
He
think
does.
he's going to go to another team that I think will, make him great.
He's been a rumored Jets target.
Has he?
He has.
That's
yeah.
actually a great
That's
spot
always
for him.
hurt, man. I like him a lot. Really good player when he's on the field. Not on the field at the time. That's
Yeah.
been the story of those Chargers receivers. Keenan Allen, under normal circumstances, Keenan Allen numerically is a Hall of Fame talent player. I love him. Probably one of the best route runners in football. But it's been a matter of, can this dude stay healthy? And can Mike Williams stay healthy? You
Yeah.
know? So
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Speaking of staying healthy, these young guys in the NBA.
Can I touch one more thing in football?
yeah,
before we
go
move?
ahead. Sure.
I just want to touch quick on something Patrick Mahomes did over
for sure.
over the this week. It kind of
Yep.
got lost in the craziness of free agency. Patrick Mahomes did something that's very Tom Brady-ish. He's done a ton of winning in his career. He could very well sit on, I just make all the plays. I got all the stats. I'm going to stick with my contract. But what he did is he restructured his contract to free up $21.6 million in cap space for the Chiefs to maneuver now. That gives them the freedom to potentially bring back all-pro corner L'Jarius Sneed, or now go out and get that extra offensive weapon that they've maybe been lacking. So good on Patrick Mahomes for, making a football decision that, the great Tom Brady has done a million times to open your team up to kind of continue to be successful.
Well, that's what leaders do, right? That's
Yeah,
what
100%.
that's what they want to do when they want to win more Super Bowls, right?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. Also, Dan Campbell just signed an extension for the Lions, so
Did he
he'll
really?
be back.
Nice.
Yeah, he'll be back. They just settled on agreed to terms.
Put that guy
Awesome.
in the D line.
Right? Dan Campbell?
Guy's a monster.
The coach.
Anything else from the NFL? Manno, anything else for us?
No, I'm good right now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Appreciate the time.
Skipping on to the NBA, and I love where the NBA is at right now. But the young talent, I don't think we talk about. These guys, I'm excited because they're very versatile, but they're very different. Like Wembanyama, and you got Paolo Banchero and Anthony Edwards, just to name a few that I like out the gate. So there's some young talent that I think we need to talk about that I don't think is being talked about, because all we talk about is like LeBron, or we talk about James Harden, or we talk about, just guys that we already know about. So one guy that I think we should all be on the lookout for is Paolo Banchero from Duke. He obviously plays for the Magic now. This kid is a stud. There's some highlights if you want to show him, Malik, for the people at home. The kid is versatile. He's awesome. He can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot the three like no other dude. His dunking capability is out of control. He reminds me of not like a young Dominique, but the way he dunks kind of in a way he does.
He's been getting a lot of comparison to LeBron, actually.
Has he really?
Yeah. He's like very
He doesn't
well-rounded.
have the body per se like
LeBron,
though.
Well, he's a baby still.
He can
he's
do it all like LeBron. He can
he's going
pass,
to get on that
he can
NBA.
facilitate, he can
100%.
score. He can get rebounds as well.
Yeah, he's going to get on
size.
that NBA weight room program for a couple of years. Get a good nutritionist, and he's going to get himself right. He's phenomenal.
He's one of the best players I think in the NBA
How
right
old
now.
is he right now?
I think he's 23.
Yeah, he's 23 years old.
I could be wrong, but he's surging every day. You see that kid getting better. He's adding new things to his game. He's got the Magic for the first time looking like they're ascending.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the Magic have been.
He reminds me a little bit of a Penny Hardaway.
He's a good player, man. I'm excited to watch him down there.
Yeah, so a little bit about Banchero. He's got 1,437 points, 497 rebounds, 269 assists, and 60 steals in his rookie season. So with that said, the only people to do that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James,
The GOAT.
as being the number one overall pick in NBA history with 25 plus points.
Yep.
So that's impressive in itself. And for him to be a stand-up for the Magic, Shaquille O'Neal, who did it 13 times in 4 seasons with the Magic, and McGrady, who did it 10 times in 4 years with Orlando. And T-Mac had a record of 20 straight 25-plus point games from February 21st, 2003 to April 1st, 2003. So the kid's on the right track for sure. My next guy to watch is Anthony Edwards for Minnesota. I think I like this kid. I think I like him more than I like Banchero for sure. He's exciting to watch. The guy moves through the paint super fast. Look at him. He's just explosive. I would say Banchero is a little more finesse. This guy's a little more raw, but also he can shoot. He's got that fire though that I love.
To go back to something Malik said before, he compared Paolo Banchero to LeBron James. I've seen Anthony Edwards' game get Michael Jordan comparisons.
There's a rumor that's don't do it. That's his son.
Did you see that?
Yo, Anthony.
Look at that. He cradled that all the way back.
He's got one where he comes from the left side
Malik
of the
in high school
baseline.
right there, dude. Look at that shit.
He's got one highlight of him up the left baseline, yamming on a big guy, and it is crazy. And he's got the game on the floor. He's got a perfect, no nonsense, big nuts attitude. He's not afraid at any moment.
You know what,
and
though?
he's got the Timberwolves at the top of the West, which is crazy for a young team like that.
He's got amazing court vision too, dude. He can make
How
those
tall
passes.
is he? He doesn't look that tall compared
I think
to the
he's
other
6'9".
No, he's 6'7".
He's 6'7"?
Yeah,
Really?
he's
He looks-
6'7".
He's got an NBA body right now for a young kid out of Georgia. He came out all brolic and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys take a little while to fill out. Anthony Edwards came out with that NBA body, and he's got good personality about him. I think he's a guy. Do you remember him in the Adam Sandler Netflix movie? His name was
in that?
Kermit. He was the main character.
Oh no,
him and Juan Hernan
Adam
Gomez.
Sandler stuff per se.
Dude, it
big
Listen on a
fan.
long flight.
no, it was cool, and he's got the personality that you could see him being like a guy that the NBA chooses to make the face of the league, provided he keeps himself like on the straight and narrow. He's a good guy to look for the next decade. They could be the guy that they put the flag in and let him go.
I love it. Those are
The
my
movie
two
was
guys.
Hustle.
What do you have?
The movie was
Hustle, right. That's what it was.
Oh wait, I did see that. That was Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards played Kermit, him and Juan Hernan Gomez were battling for that top pick.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah,
Maybe I was on
he
Edibles.
he was awesome in it too.
Well, I'll have to check it out. Who do you got? Who's some people that we should watch out for in the NBA coming up? What do you got, Manno?
So I think the young star discussion begins and ends, and it sounds crazy because it seems like he's been in the league forever, but he's barely off 24 years old, and that's Luka Doncic. He's barely 25. He came into the league so early, and I think he's one of those guys we talk about on this show occasionally that you can get him on your team and everything changes. I don't think there's too many guys like this in the league where you get them on your roster and you're a contender right away. Now, I know it hasn't transferred too well to Dallas, I think there's a lot of other stuff going on there. They were fixing up that front office for a while. The Mark Cuban instance.
Brought Carlisle. He had Carlisle, and then they got rid of Carlisle.
So I think that's hindered him a little bit. I think he's going to come into his own, and I think it's inevitable with all that talent in the next 10 years that this guy finds a way to win him at least a chip or two. I think Luka Doncic is
if he can keep that weight off, dude, because I noticed when he goes and plays in the summer league, he's in top-notch shape when he comes back. But sometimes, he looks like he's been hitting the ice cream a little too hard.
Well, the beautiful thing about that is his game isn't predicated upon his athleticism. He just does things technically beautiful, and then he'll catch you with like a sneaky dunk once in a while where you're like, damn, Luka got up and did that?
He does. He moves like Velcro sometimes. He really does.
Well, he's a tall midget.
Yeah. He's a tall midget.
Use it right, guys. Come on now. Use it right. And then my second is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, already first team All-NBA. He's trending that way again this year. He's getting 31, 6, and 6 per game, which is just bananas. He's got the baby OKC Thunder at number 2 in the West right now. And you have to mention another guy who's on that team and young, and that's Chet Holmgren, who's theoretically in his rookie year this year because he missed his entire actual rookie year. He also is getting 17 a game all year. And then I guess you have to touch on Victor Wembanyama, who... Yeah. For the next, this guy.
That's the guy.
You can't have this discussion without talking about Victor Wembanyama, who over the next 10 years, he's coming into his own already. It was great to see him in prime time a couple of weeks ago. He got 38 against KD and Booker.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a fun one to watch.
He's got the arms of broomsticks. I'm not kidding, dude.
Insane.
This guy is
7'4".
No.
Yeah, from a step inside the free throw line, he's dunking on people. It's crazy.
And he moves like a guard.
He looks like Slenderman.
Yeah, I'm telling you, a guy that big though, and I really hope he stays healthy because he's super exciting to watch.
That's what it's going to be a matter of.
I feel like you knock into that guy's left leg or right leg, and you ding it a little bit, and that guy's done for the season.
Those big guys, 7'3" and over. You've seen it with Porzingis, these long, lanky guys. Yao Ming's career ended very early because of his feet and ankles. You got to make sure you keep him healthy. He probably is the most athletic, fluid, cleanest moving big guy like that size there ever was. And you see, if you watch his workout regimen, he incorporates a lot of yoga, a lot of flow movements, and those are going to help him, hopefully keep his body where it's supposed to be. But yeah, the only thing stopping that kid from going down as an all-timer is that he fell into a good spot with San Antonio. Obviously, Popovich is a little crazy, but he knows how to win basketball games.
The only player that was taller than Wembanyama was Sean Bradley. He was 7'6".
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Really?
George Mirasan, Sean Bradley, Minute Bowl.
To move like that, to be that mobile. What is it? Do you think it's from just having such a great training staff to be able to move like that, or is this something that he's just a freak of nature?
That dude was touched by somebody.
I was going to say,
touched by God.
Yeah.
That guy is 7'4", and like you said, dudes his size, they usually move like giraffes, slow and plodding, and he's able to cross a guy up. He can put the ball on the floor. He could take a guy to the rim. He can dribble. He can do everything, man. That kid is a full package.
Tallest NBA basketball player is Sun Ming Ming at 7'9". You remember Sun Ming Ming?
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
Do you know what I think that is? I think he's the
Don't
Chinese.
Say don't.
I'm dead serious. I could be wrong. I think he's the guy in the Rush Hour movies that swung Chris Tucker around on that stick.
Could be.
Can you pull his face up, Malik? I could be wrong, but I think that might be the guy.
Yeah, it might be. Jesus.
Sung Ming Ming.
There he is.
Was he the guy in? Can you type in Rush Hour and see if he was in Rush Hour?
I'm pretty sure that was him.
I think he was in Hustle too.
Nah, he was right there in the picture next to him with Chris Tucker.
I don't know. And then we have Manute Bol, whose son Bol Bol, is playing for, I think,
who's another 7'3" guy
playing for the Kings.
I think he's somewhere now. I'm not sure. He was out.
He's on the Suns. He's teammates.
He's with KD, right?
He's with the Suns.
Yeah.
Bol Bol.
Yeah.
That guy's no slouch either. That kid can move too.
Yeah, great athlete.
He moved better than his dad.
Yeah, great athlete.
I just love watching Manute Bol and Jordan back in the day. Jordan made it his mission to dunk over Manute Bol.
Is that really
Here's Sung Ming Ming right here.
Thank you.
Guys,
come on, don't question me no more, please.
They've tried to make him the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and enter the
They're trying
Dragon.
to do what was it with Bruce Lee?
That's Tucker on FC Island.
You know Wemby has a younger brother as well. You know that, right?
Who does?
Wemby has a younger brother. He's like 16 years old and he's already 6'8".
Is he like a player or not?
Oscar Wembanyama, yeah.
Is he a player though?
Yeah, he plays pro in France already.
Come on, does he?
God damn. What are these guys? Where do you find these dudes,
What do their parents look
at
like
this
is
kid.
the real question.
I hope the Bulls get him, dude. Here we
Jesus,
go.
that's Wembanyama's clone right there.
There's going to be two
crazy.
Wembys in
Face
the
looks
league
just
soon.
like him.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He
But
played
I
Malik,
think-
same kind of game as his brother, or he plays different?
Yeah, kind of similar, I would assume. But I feel like guys that are like this skilled at this height, they kind of like get into their training regimens.
That's what
kinda
I'm
early,
saying.
where
That's
they
what
get
I'm saying.
accustomed to their bodies. Like
Have to.
You see a guy who's like 20 years old and between 20 and 21, where you're kind of already up there in age compared to a teenager.
Right.
It takes time for you to become accustomed to that.
But I'm
growth
saying,
spurt.
like, you see a guy like that. There's definitely a group of dudes that they're like, come train with us, and we're gonna make you the baddest basketball player ever. You know what I'm saying? That's because that's what Tenekempo did.
He's been getting that from everybody since he's a little kid. You all want to be the guy who's responsible for Victor Wembanyama.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Malik, that's a great point, man.
Yep.
I've seen it a lot with my athletes going through growth spurts. You might get a kid who, you think about Anthony Davis, who went from like 6'1" to 6'10" in a year. It's
crazy.
You may be comfortable in your 6'1" body, but when your body just explodes and you shoot from this to this in a couple of months, if you don't do that while, gradually learning to move properly, you wind up being clumsy and monkey in your new body. So,
God, I would not want to be that tall and having to fly or travel anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's staring
Can you
at
imagine, dude? Yeah, well,
just
one,
imagine your
staring at
knees
you,
in your
but also
mouth when you're
you
sitting
gotta lay
coach.
you literally have to lay in the aisle.
Yeah.
Literally, just you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's awful.
You have to play in the NBA. Like, what do you do?
You have to
what
play
do I
in the
do
NBA.
if I'm 7 feet tall and I'm a regular
You
guy?
buy a plane.
You're working at
You buy a
T-Mobile.
plane,
Get
you get
stared
one
at by
seat, you take all
everybody,
the- you
and
buy a plane.
everybody asks you, "Do you play basketball?" And you have to say no to everybody. So
You
that
buy a
must-
plane
I help
and you
screw
get
in
rid
light
of all the
bulbs.
seats, and then you just lay there.
Yep.
I help
That's
stuff
their
from the top
job.
shelf.
That's their job.
Pretty much. just make planes for basketball players that
That's
are
it, yeah.
really tall.
They can just lay there.
It's a good business. Moving on to the good, the bad, and do we care? My good is this beautiful ice skater that you said is whose girlfriend, Ray?
Bob Saps.
It's Jake Paul's girlfriend.
This is legit Jake Paul's girlfriend. Why do I not believe you? Because when I looked her up, I did not see any pictures of Jake Paul. She's the
I
most
can't wait
beautiful-
for you both to be
She's the
wrong
most
right
beautiful
now. It's
thing I
great.
think I've ever seen. I saw this. I watched this video. I'm not
Maybe
kidding.
you should
Video
fight Jake
a couple
Paul for him.
times. Sure. I'll throw you in there with me. Look at how beautiful. Dude, she's
Yep.
beautiful.
It pisses me off because
Oh
she
my
is good
God.
looking, but it's literally Jake Paul's girlfriend.
That pisses me
Malik,
off
can you,
even more.
after this, can you just look that up?
Well, like him or not, Jake Paul is going to have a smoking
Look
girlfriend,
at
right? What do
that.
we think?
Yeah.
God bless her.
Can you just prove this real
bless
quick,
her.
Malik? This is in fact Jake Paul's girlfriend, which makes me not like her at all.
Yeah,
don't
now
like her.
I'm now I'm
Dude, Jake
pissed.
Paul is topic number one here.
Well,
We have
by
to
the way,
like Jake Paul.
Logan Paul's girl. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been enough talks on her online.
Yeah, there's been a lot
Let's
of
go to
mouths on her
Dylan
too.
Danis's Twitter. Jeez.
Yeah. If you can't find it, that's all right. We got to move on.
Wait, we got it right here.
You have it? Okay. Let's see.
Ready?
Ray,
Let's-
prediction. Damn it! Look at her legs, though. Look at her cat. Look at those.
That's right.
Look at her thigh meat.
Is she from America, though?
She has
No,
better
no,
legs than
she's
Jake
not.
Paul.
Does she live here now?
She's
I
like
guess she
Romanian or
lives here
something.
now.
I guess so. I mean, that guy's got all the cash. She's just a figure skater or ice skater. Sorry, ice skater. Please don't
Oh,
come
she
at
probably
me.
getting
Don't come
sponsorships
at
like
me.
crazy, though. She probably makes bread. She probably makes bread for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
looking like
she's
that. She
definitely-
doesn't have to really ice skate. She can just look like that.
Yeah,
I
the
mean-
Kornikova program.
You're not dating that guy if you look like that if he has no money. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
saying. All right, moving
They
on
nailed
because we're losing daylight. Chris, what do you have?
All right, my the good is money for everybody in the NFL this week. Obviously, we saw a ton of the players get paid like crazy, but it's not just them. Agents also. Athletes' first agent, David Mulugheta, negotiated $377 million worth of deals.
That's crazy.
In the first 2 days of free agency. He's got guys like Christian Wilkins, Calvin Ridley, Darnell Mooney, among others. And it was a huge day for everybody. And the beautiful thing about that is the game is in a healthy place when everybody's making money.
Sure.
So the NFL is thriving as much as we kind of dog on it sometimes.
Let's
so it's
get him
good
on
to
the
see
show.
everybody getting paid.
I would love to talk to that guy.
Cool. Let's talk about it.
That'd be awesome. Ray, what do you have?
So we already touched upon it already with Saquon, but we didn't watch the video of that transition, the hype video of him transitioning
I would
from
like to
the
see it.
Giants
Yeah.
to the Eagles. And honestly, with the music as well, we can't play it. He's listening to 50 Cent, Many Men.
Ouch.
And he's
That
wished
hurt-
death
that hurts
upon
me.
me.
And he
So-
uses a New York song
Yep.
against New York people.
That is
That's what I was
fucked
saying.
up.
He was buying into the heel
Yeah.
character. Like I thought he was going to go out like pleasant, like he's been his whole time in New York, and he's kind of just totally buying into
He
the
took
bad guy
the
stuff.
heel. He took the heel. He played with everything from the song, the transition. He just accepted it and said, "You could hate me, but I got to be me."
It'd be crazy if they put
It's
like
great.
Joker makeup on him in post.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
His return back to MetLife next year is going to be nuts.
Oh,
they are going to
oh, yeah.
boo him
Yeah.
like
that's
crazy.
gonna be Sunday night. That'll be Sunday night football for
Oh,
sure.
for sure, yeah.
Or Monday night. Let's see. Moving on to our bad. Conor McGregor doing Conor McGregor stuff, and it's not in the octagon.
What can you tell us about your
little
acting
sweaty,
debut?
Connor.
Obviously, it's your first experience.
Hard work, but we got it done. It's in the bank for life. You put something in the bank, maybe it's not going to be there for life. You might spend it. This baby is in there.
You're like
for
an
life,
Irishman
and
on
I'm
cocaine.
ecstatic about that. I got into good, strong
Allegedly.
shape. I gave it my
Allegedly.
all.
We wanna stay on the air.
I was a little probably green at times, a bit rough around the edges, but for the character it worked. And onwards to the next one if there is a next one.
Yeah. Hi, Connor.
He's
You know what I love about that whole thing is he's just looking around. That's what happens when you do some spicy stuff.
he's also being pulled in all different directions. Everyone's trying to grab him
Yeah.
for an interview, so he's just
The
over here.
demons in his head too are pulling him all around
for
different
sure,
directions, right?
for sure. Yeah,
he's
this
listening
is-
to a couple people.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of things.
Shout out to Connor. Also, I do kind of want to see Roadhouse. We've talked about that. Whatever. Okay, what do you have, Manno, for us on the bed?
All right, the bad is it came out yesterday that Lev Bell and AB are trying to make returns to the league, and they both want to play for the Steelers. They are 32 and 35, respectively. I'm usually cool with it. If you could still play, but I want these guys to completely understand it. You all made this bed. You all are the reasons you're out of the league right now.
I don't want, dude.
So-
I'll take Bell because I heard Bell looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
but why do I want that headache? That is AB.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's the reason he's not in the league. Because at 35, I bet you that guy could still play football. He won't be the worst player on an NFL team
No,
right now.
I'm guarantee he'd be
So
awesome.
the reason these guys aren't in the league, I need them to understand, is them. It's nobody
Of
else's
course,
fault. So
of course.
That's
Listen,
the bad.
Antonio Brown, your next move should be the WWE. Not kidding. That's where you belong.
He's like completely
Or a
embraced the
jail
whole.
cell.
He hashtags everything now CTESPN.
Right.
Almost like a play on CTE, which is cool.
And he rips on the ESPN and Barstool guys
Yeah.
because he thinks they're the same company.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, Ray, what do you have?
I have top NFL in the draft prospect Xavier Legette. And big dude, what is he, like he's almost 230, 6'3", he's being compared to DK Metcalf, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, real big dude.
Physical monster.
So his voice just doesn't match with him as a person.
He's
Just
got
a
Mike Tyson syndrome?
No, it's just a
Is he
strange.
talking like this?
He's got like it's an accent mix. It's almost like a Memphis accent. You could play the clip, but it just doesn't match him as a person. Just a
Right.
big athletic dude.
You think something big would come out of
Whether
the
you're
guy's
taking
body?
a pitch
Yeah.
or catching a short
just
pass
funny.
or catching a deep ball, what would you say are the best parts of your game that help you get into the end zone so often?
Oh, man, I say the deep ball, man. But I really feel like any
a
way
little
that I
Randy
get the ball
Moss-ish.
in my hand, I could get it to that end zone.
It sounds like Randy Moss, kind of.
It's almost like what is it, the Water Boy, where he's like, they go, we go,
All right, moving on to our Do We Care? And this one, I truly believe, do we care? No woman should be this hot being in slap boxing, but let's see it. She's super hot. But the whole thing in itself,
Call me.
I don't even know why we need this sport. But for some reason, I couldn't stop watching. The music is what gets me. Oh, woo! And she, yeah,
Just
baby.
wore it too. Oh gosh.
She's done that before.
She's about to get knocked
She's
out.
gonna knock this girl's head off.
Yeah, there she goes.
God. What's up with
It's,
Mom?
It's crazy that
Mom's
this
not
is
going to be home for dinner tonight.
It's crazy that more people are tuning into this too.
Oh,
it's
man.
nuts.
Oof.
Is it growing, dude?
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
I thought
yeah,
this was going to be
it's
one of
huge.
those things like slam ball or whatever that gets
It's
like
huge.
a couple of weeks. People want to see what it's about, and then it goes away. But it's getting bigger.
Yeah, but you got to remember, you
people
got
love
the
it.
UFC
Are we calling
and
this a
Dana
sport?
White. Yeah,
I
you
guess
got
we are.
you got
We
UFC
are?
and
I guess
Dana
so.
White that are backing this, so he's not going to let this fail.
Do you think there's going to – we're putting trans people in this sport, or how's this work?
Yeah, I'm sure Dana White's not going to give.
Do they
a
have
shit
like
at this
testing
point.
policies? Like, do those guys get drug tested and stuff?
No, do you see that they have like meth heads coming in? They're
Yeah.
not fucking testing them. Jesus Christ, they're finding them on the streets. Hey, you want to get slapped real quick for $1,000? Sure.
Yeah. Chris,
So-
what do you have for our Do We Care?
My do we care is they've proposed another onside kick rule change in the NFL. I actually think it's really cool. If we've watched over the year, the onside kick is been for when we were growing up,
I
the
loved
most
it.
exciting play in football.
Totally.
Now they've changed it obviously for safety reasons in the NFL, which I understand, but it's pushed the success rate down to 5 or 6%, where they're making it impossible for teams to recover. So what they're pitching now is one play, 4th and 20, you get it, you retain possession. So it's like
Interesting.
guys aren't going to get their heads creamed off anymore where they're getting knocked out, but you get one play for 20 yards, and if you get it, you get the ball back. Malik, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's
weird.
definitely it throw a wrench into the game because like the onside kick, you don't see it as often, and like it's not a
Never works.
Yeah, it
because
never
they've changed it
works.
where
Like,
guys
nobody's
can't
ever
get running
successful.
starts.
Right.
And so You think there'll be more success though? I think one play for 20 yards would be much more than 5%, right?
For sure. I'll watch that all day.
So you'll take it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
like that
I think
move
I
a
would
lot.
too.
Yeah, I like that move a lot. Ray, what do you have? Take us home.
So it was just announced, what was it, a day or two ago? Masvidal versus Diaz 2. But it's not an MMA fight. It's going to be boxing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
a
I don't
boxing
care
fight.
at all.
We don't care.
I'm not
I don't
watching this.
care. If you watch the first fight between them in the UFC, it was pretty one-sided in terms of Masvidal in the BMF belt. And he pretty much pieced up Diaz the entire fight. It was hard to watch. Ended up being a doctor stoppage because of a cut Diaz had, of course, from all the years of scar tissue on his face.
Less.
I don't care for this
Where's
fight.
this at?
I really don't. I
Do you
don't
know
know
where this
why. No, nothing yet. They just announced that they will be
And the
fighting.
last time we saw Nate
It's-
Diaz exclusively in a boxing ring, he was getting pieced up again by a YouTuber. We saw the Paul.
I don't want to see this. They're both,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like
I
he's
totally forgot about that.
It's just a punching bag.
If we want to
for
make
all
this
those
interesting,
rounds.
put Jake Paul and Mike Tyson in there at the same time.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well make it a tag match because
Totally.
we don't care.
Is this
Right.
under
So-
some sort of like organization banner? Could they possibly put them on the same card? Because
no, I don't.
No?
They're,
that'd be pretty sick.
yeah, I think Diaz has his own real
Oh,
list.
Englewood, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like the real fight.
So
He
it's
has
Nate
no
Diaz's
promotion.
backyard.
they're probably at the Coliseum, I assume.
Is that
Probably.
close to Stockton, Inglewood?
At California's
Yeah.
Kia Forum.
Oh, so it's at the new Charger
It's the
Stadium.
same promoter for
Oh, no,
Mayweather,
it can't
Logan
be in
Paul.
I know that's
but-
Spotify. What am I talking about?
So it's almost like an exhibition fight because that's what Mayweather and Logan Paul did. It's
Yeah,
not a fight.
I'm gonna
There's
go
a
with-
different. They use that for rather than a real fight.
I'm going to go with the fat.
Who cares? No one wants to see that.
No one's watching that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. Thank you so much for watching. Chris Manno, you have any parting words for the people at home?
Nah, same old, same old. Check me out on Instagram, Manno Steel. Check me out on Manect.
Yep.
Again, we're new on there. Download the app. Let's go. Let's get rolling with that. And VT merch. Let's go.
You bet, baby. Ray Sherwood.
Yeah. You guys can follow me at Ray Sherwood 1. Thank you guys. Great show. And tune in next week. Thank you.
And Malik, anything good for the people at home?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, along with that, like Chris said, vtmerch.com. Go on there. We got a sale going on. We got some cool stuff going on too. Also, check all your favorite people out on Manect as well. We got Chris Manno on there. We got Brady Matthews.
Yep.
I'm on there as well.
Yep.
Come
Let's go,
check it
Malik.
out. And I'm going to say it one more time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked what you've seen, please, yes, like Malik said, go to our YouTube, Valuetainment Sports. Click on the Mouthpiece. We have shorts. We have reels. Go ahead, Chris.
And yeah, we just started up the new Instagram page yesterday. So VT
Go to-
Sports
yes.
channel on Instagram. Give us a follow.
Yep. Go to our Valuetainment Sports channel on Instagram. Twitter. We have our Twitter.
I'm not sure about the Twitter. I know we got the VT Sports Instagram, though. Just went up yesterday. We got to start putting stuff up on that like crazy. So
Well,
jump on and join us.
We'll let you guys know about the Twitter as well. Also, we're going to have Tom Ellsworth on the show next week, the Biz Doc.
Hey,
Just
let's
so you guys know.
go.
So please, lots to look forward to. It's going to be another fun sports weekend. Please stay tuned. New show every Monday and Friday, so check us out, guys. I've been Brady Matthews. That's been the Mouthpiece, and we'll see you guys Monday.